One of the classic meditation techniques that you can experiment with of the forest tradition is simply repeating the word Buddho, or repeating a meaningful word internally. Buddho is a Thai way of expressing Buddha or Bodhi, enlightenment, the quality of enlightenment or awakening. So typically, meditation masters in the forest tradition would, if they're giving meditation instruction to a new disciple comes, say, oh, whatever you're doing, just repeat Buddho, Buddho. When you're breathing in Put, breathing out, To. When you're doing walking meditation, Put, To, Put, To. Sweeping the leaves off your path, Buddho, Buddho, all day long. As soon as you wake up in the morning, how long is it before you remember Buddho? When one of Ajahn Chah's teachers, Lumpu Man, he was the father of the modern forest tradition, he was up in the hills in northern Thailand, and the hill tribes up there weren't familiar with meditation monks, and he's just living up there very simply doing his walking meditation back and forth, and some of the local villagers thought he was looking for something. He's just walking back and forth, kind of looking down at the ground, and said, "What are you looking for?" And Pomani said, "I'm looking for Buddho. Looking for my Buddho." They said, "Oh, can we help you look for it?" I said, yeah. Just walk back and forth and gradually look for your Buddho." As I indirectly get them to do meditation. So that is a simple meditation that is quite effective. Now the thing is, with anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing, you can't really go wrong with it, but, normally you can't go wrong with it, but it's not the easiest of meditation techniques because it constantly is changing. Your breath is constantly changing, right? You really start to notice the breath as it is. As we become more relaxed, the breath changes. As we become more excited, the breath changes. The breath would be a certain way, and then a thought arises, and then the breath changes. Different mood, get a mood shift, and then the breath changes. And just when our mindfulness is able to watch it a little bit, then the body and mind relax, and then the breath gets too subtle, and then we're not able to keep pace with it. So the advantage of repeating a word internally is that it's consistent. No matter what your mood is, Buddho is Buddho. So there's a consistency there, and you can relatively easily maintain that in daily activities. Whatever you're doing, you get this continuity from sitting to walking to activities and everything you're doing. Especially when you're keeping silence. Just maintain Buddho all day long. And then it's also very clear when you're not being fully mindful. Right? It's like, oh, slipped there. We lost my Buddho. Where'd my Buddho go? There it is. Come back. But even though it's relatively consistent, you can still modify how you repeat it in your mind. Like if you're feeling a bit sleepy, you can repeat it with a bit more emphasis, and it'll help to raise the energy. Okay? It's like you're feeling really a bit low energy or tired or sloth and torpor. Kind of internally don't say Buddho, Buddho, Buddho. You just drift off to sleep. So then you want to say Buddho, 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 Buddho. And then before you know it, just that repetition helps to gradually raise the energy level and clarity, to the point of balance. But then you have to find the point of balance and then level off. Otherwise, you go past the point of balance and then you're like, Buddho, Buddho, Buddho. You get too pumped up. So, you got to find the point of balance and just notice, does my mind have too much energy or not enough energy? Now, sometimes we get too much energy. We're just feeling distracted because we're just too wound up. And then you can repeat the word Buddho a bit more soothing, in a soothing way. To Buddho, Buddho. It's kind of like Buddho, everything's fine, just calm down, everything's fine. Buddho, in a very soothing, kind way. Right? But again, that'll help us bring us down into balance, but don't go past the point of balance, otherwise be like Buddho, 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 Buddho. Before you know it, you're asleep. So, being able to experience a point of balance, when the mind is in balance, it's basically peaceful and clearly aware. Even if you have a few thoughts in the background. If you're peaceful and clearly aware, then essentially our mind's in balance. And then we can assess at any given moment, is it still in balance? If it's in balance, then you just want to maintain it. How do you keep that continuity going? But then you have to keep watch over the mind. Right? Just keep watching, and suddenly it's like, oh, now I'm getting too much energy. Calm down a little bit, bring it into balance. Okay, good, good. And then energy is dropping a bit. Oh, bring it up into balance. If our energy goes too low, we can start to daydream and be foggy and get a lot of thinking. If we get too much energy, we get kind of distracted and mind's jumping around and thinking. Can't. So when it's in balance, there's clear awareness, but also it's peaceful.